In the sweltering heat of a late August afternoon in 2025, where the sun beat down mercilessly on the bustling streets of Manhattan and the air shimmered with the haze of urban exhaust, Prince Harry arrived at the SiriusXM studios for what was billed as a promotional interview on The Howard Stern Show, his security detail weaving through paparazzi flashes like a well-rehearsed ballet, the Duke of Sussex stepping out of his tinted SUV with the poised determination that had carried him from Afghan battlefields to Hollywood boardrooms. Harry, now 40 and a fixture in American media since his 2020 Megxit, sported a casual yet sharp ensemble, a crisp white button-down rolled at the sleeves revealing a tattoo from his army days, slim fit chinos, and loafers that echoed his Montecito lifestyle, his ginger hair tousled just so, blue eyes alert behind subtle shades as he prepared to discuss his latest Archwell project, a mental health initiative for veterans tied to the upcoming Invictus Games, a cause that had defined his post-royal purpose amid the lingering shadows of Spare's revelations in the Netflix docuseries that had painted him as both victim and villain. Howard Stern, the 71-year-old shock jock turned serious sage whose career had evolved from FCC baiting obscenities to introspective interviews with presidents and stars, lounged in his iconic leather chair in Studio 8H, his signature black t-shirt hugging his frame, aviators perched on his nose as he bantered with co-host Robin Quivers about the day's headlines, the control room buzzing with anticipation for this high-profile clash of worlds, the freewheeling American provocateur versus the guarded British royal. The show went live at 2 p.m. ET, millions tuning in via app and radio as Howard welcomed Harry with his gravelly chuckle, "Your Highness, or should I say, Hollywood Harry. Come on in, we've got mics hot and no holds barred." The audience, virtual and in studio, leaned in as Harry settled into the guest seat, the set minimalist with plush couches, a coffee table strewn with spare copies and Invictus memorabilia, the red light blinking ominously as the interview kicked off smoothly, Harry sharing anecdotes about fatherhood with Archie and Lilibet, his polo passion, and the therapeutic power of adaptive sports, Howard nodding along with feigned sympathy. "Man, losing your mom like that, Diana was a force, and the royals. Cold as a New York winter." But as the segment deepened, Howard's eyes narrowed behind his glasses, his voice dropping to that interrogative timbre honed over decades of peeling back celebrity facades, pivoting abruptly to the Sussex's media empire. "Look, kid, I get the trauma. Paps chasing your mom to her death, that's nightmare fuel, but now you're out here spilling it all in books, docs, Netflix deals. Isn't that just trading one spotlight for another? You're like the Kardashians with crowns, whiny about privacy while cashing checks to air your dirty laundry." The studio fell silent save for the hum of equipment, Harry's jaw tightening as he leaned forward, his British accent clipped with restrained fire. "Howard, with respect, you've built an empire on shock value, but mental health isn't a punchline. I've shared to heal, not to hustle, unlike some who profit off others' pain without a second thought." The mockery escalated when Howard, smirking into the mic, quipped, "Oh, come on, Spare. That's not healing, that's a royal roast, frosty toes in the Arctic. Spare me, and Meghan, tough broad, but y'all come off like entitled exiles griping about palaces like they're prisons. I grew up in Roosevelt projects, try dodging bill collectors instead of butlers." Laughter erupted from the crew, but Harry's face flushed, his voice rising in a rare live outburst. "This isn't comedy, it's cruelty dressed as candor. My mother's death wasn't fodder for your ratings, and neither is my family's fight for normalcy." Howard, undeterred, leaned in with a theatrical sigh. "Normalcy? You're flying private to polo matches while preaching carbon footprints, hypocrite much. Face it, Harry, you're MAGA Trumpy without the tan, pissed at the system you were born to rule, now playing victim in yoga pants." The argument boiled over as Harry stood, microphone cord taut, retorting, "I've served my country under fire, you've served ego. If this is your idea of dialogue, count me out, I'm done being your royal punchbag." Gasps echoed through the speakers as producers cut to a hasty commercial, Howard chuckling into dead air. "Well, folks, that's one way to exit stage left, ta-ta, Your Highness." Backstage, Harry's team swarmed with water bottles and iPads aglow with incoming alerts, Meghan on speed dial from California offering calm amid the storm, while Howard high-fived Robin, muttering, "Gold, pure ratings gold." The clip exploded online within minutes, #SternV's Harry trending with 5 million views on X by show's end, fans divided between hailing Howard's brutal honesty and decrying his insensitivity to trauma, royal watchers in the UK tabloids frothing over the Yankee insolence, and American conservatives amplifying clips as takedowns of woke royalty. Harry's publicist fired off a statement framing it as a misguided mockery of real pain, while SiriusXM teased rebroadcasts, advertisers buzzing over the spike. The live TV argument, though radio in essence, simulcast on streaming, exposed the chasm between Stern's unfiltered schadenfreude and Harry's quest for redemption, a spectacle that humanized both, the Jester King unmasked and the spare heir unbowed. Subplots simmered in the frenzy, a young veteran listener tweeting support for Harry, sparking Invictus donations, Howard's writers scrambling for follow-up bits, and Harry's reflective call to brother William, a flicker of familial thaw amid the barbs. The video script wove this chaos with split-screen intensity, Howard's smirking close-ups intercut with Harry's steely gaze, flashbacks to Diana's Paris tunnel juxtaposed with Spare's writing sessions, voiceovers narrating the irony of a prince schooled by a pauper-turned-billionaire. Dialogue stretched raw and rhythmic, Howard's Yiddish-inflected zingers clashing against Harry's measured eloquence, building to the mic-drop exit that left the airwaves crackling. Themes of privilege's double-edge pulsed through, challenging listeners, when does candor cross into cruelty? As evening fell, Harry jetted back west, the mockery not breaking him but fueling his fire, while Howard uncorked a victory scotch, the argument etching another notch in his legend. Extended beats delved into pre-show jitters, Harry's security sweeps, Howard's producer notes on, push buttons, and post-clash ripples, from fan petitions to media panels debating shock jock ethics, crafting a narrative as layered as a crown jewel heist, resonant with the ache of public lives under perpetual scrutiny. The fallout from Howard Stern's live mockery of Prince Harry cascaded through the media ecosystem like a transatlantic tempest by the morning after the explosive SiriusXM clash, with New York's skyline still aglow from overnight broadcasts as TMZ helicopters buzzed overhead and X feeds overflowed with 10 million impressions. The argument's clips dissected in every podcast from Joe Rogan to BBC Radio 4, headlines blaring, Stern schools spare, Royal Rumble goes nuclear. While British outlets like The Sun screamed, Yank jock humiliates Harry. In his Upper West Side penthouse, Harry paced the sunlit living room overlooking the Hudson, Meghan at his side with Lilibet on her hip, reviewing transcripts over avocado toast and chamomile, their team in crisis mode crafting a multi-pronged response. A dignified Instagram post emphasizing resilience, words wound, but purpose heals, paired with a surprise donation drive for Archwell that netted $2 million in 24 hours from sympathetic donors. Howard, rising late in his Hamptons retreat, savored the chaos over black coffee and the New York Times, Robin on speakerphone crowing about the 30% listenership spike, Sirius execs greenlighting a Stern on Royals special as advertisers like Heineken and Squarespace rode the wave rather than flee, though Netflix quietly paused a Sussex's promo tie-in amid the optics. Legal hawks circled. Harry's London solicitors eyed a defamation claim over Stern's hypocrite, barbs twisting his environmental advocacy, filings citing emotional distress linked to Diana's trauma, while Howard's attorneys prepped First Amendment armor, leaking that the prince signed a no-holds-barred waiver pre-tape. Public opinion fractured along familiar lines, progressive outlets like The Guardian critiquing Stern's boomer bullying, conservatives on Fox and Friends replaying clips as much-needed reality check for woke Windsor, and neutrals on TikTok spawning duets lip-syncing Howard's zingers with crown filters, amassing 50 million views. Subplots deepened the divide. A serious intern, a Diana fan, anonymously blogged about the mockery's meanness, igniting staff walkouts. Harry hosted an impromptu veteran Zoom, sharing laughs over shared scars, and Stern fielded calls from old foes like Piers Morgan, bonding over royal roasts. The video script captured this maelstrom in kinetic montages, splintered screens of global headlines, Harry's contemplative Central Park jog intercut with Howard's triumphant beach stroll, voiceovers unpacking the spectacle schadenfreude, how one argument mirrored America's royal fascination turned farce. Harry's growth emerged in therapy sessions leaked via fictional vignettes, confronting the echo of his father's silences, while Stern confessed to Beth in a rare vulnerable aside about his own daddy issues fueling the fire. Weeks blurred into a standoff. The lawsuit dissolved in a confidential settlement funding Invictus expansions, but the cultural quake lingered, Harry's docuseries ratings soaring 40% on Curiosity, Stern's book sales for Private Parts rebounding as fans rediscovered the jock's bite. Extended exchanges from depositions revealed Harry's poised rebuttals, mockery masks insecurity, and Stern's unrepentant flair. Truth hurts, pal, ask your nan, family interludes in Montecito teaching Archie about standing tall, celebrity pile-ons from Oprah's measured defense to Elon Musk's tweetstorm memes. Backlash crested with sponsor skirmishes, Pepsi pausing ads, countered by Harry's unity rallies, and viral reckonings where listeners shared trauma tales, humanizing the feud. In this act's crescendo, the script threaded tentative truces, a back-channel email from Stern's producer inviting Harry for round 2, rebuffed but filed for future thaw, crystallizing the mockery as a mirror to mutual wounds, propelling Harry's mission while burnishing Stern's badge, a narrative nexus where live TV's live wire sparked souls across the pond, every ripple a reminder of fame's fragile tightrope. As autumn's chill settled over the Hudson Valley by October 2025, months after Howard Stern's blistering live TV mockery of Prince Harry that had dominated summer headlines, the dust of discord had alchemized into an unlikely alloy of accountability and alliance, reshaping personal trajectories and public dialogues in ways neither combatant could have scripted, with Harry's Archwell mental health app launching to 5 million downloads, its core algorithm inspired by the clash's raw exposure of vulnerability, earning a Time 100 nod for innovative advocacy. The settlement's shadows faded into seed money for SiriusXM's Empathy Airwaves initiative, a Stern-led series on trauma recovery featuring guests from vets to celebs, ratings eclipsing pre-feud highs as Howard, in a Sirius special, reflected, "I pushed too hard, mockery's my mask, but Harry's got guts, respect where it's due," a pivot that stunned listeners and softened his image from scorched earth satirist to sage survivor. Harry, ensconced in Montecito's golden light, channeled the barbs into a TEDx talk, from frostbite to fire, owning your narrative, drawing standing ovations for weaving Stern's jabs into a tapestry of growth, his family thriving, Archie scoring his first soccer goal, Lilibet reciting spare passages with glee, while Meghan's podcast returned with episodes on media resilience, guesting trauma experts who'd navigated similar storms. Fans, once at odds, forged forums blending royalty with Stern superfandom, #Harry Stern Healing trending during joint charity streams where proceeds split between Invictus and Stern's animal rescues. Subplots knotted into harmony. The intern's blog birthed a best-selling ethics guide endorsed by both camps. Harry's veteran meetups included a serious producer swap, and security from the studio day shared laughs at a reconciliation roast, toasting Harry's handshake as class act. The video script crested in symphonic sweeps, montages of award podiums and polo fields, Harry's journal entries voiced over Howard's contemplative monologues, affirming themes of redemption's roar, Harry's coda, arguments ignite, understanding endures. Stern's arc culminated in a memoir addendum excerpted on Oprah, probing his own privileges, bridging divides with humor honed humane. As 2026 dawned, Harry's sway ceded UK media reforms curbing invasive coverage, Stern's format influenced podcasters toward balanced bite, their worlds orbiting closer via a surprise crossover. Harry guested on a toned-down Stern segment, trading barbs turned bridges, laughs echoing where mockery once reigned. Extended Horizons glimpsed futures, Harry's directorial doc on Diana's legacy, Stern's retirement gala with Sussex cameos, a media ethos evolved kinder, less cruel. The Chronicle, from live wire laceration to luminous legacy, transcended the title's taunt with transcendent truth, illuminating that even mockery's sting could summon mercy's song in fame's unforgiving forum.